your face now if you want.
Actually, this drink has been, like, sitting here this whole time. Because I low-key forgot about it, but also because I just kind of poured a random alcohol from my cupboard into a bottle and added lemonade. So, I don't know what the fuck it's going to taste like. Oh, that's quite nice. Oh, it's fucking strong, though!
Let's just say I've basically been home for about 5 minutes, and in that time, I had time to change out of my work clothes and pour myself a very strong drink, but let's go! We got this.
Though. This is quite nice. Fuck, I think this is an expensive whiskey. I can't like it because I won't be able to fucking buy it again. I'm broke as shit.
You are listening to Rent Free in My Head, the podcast where we take the thoughts squatting in our brains and set them up with residence in yours, free of charge. We're just that generous. Each week, Kirstyn is a straight-up bitch and tells me a true crime tale.
And Jeramie is a straight-up... Why can I not think of a swear word? What? Jeramie is a...
Bumhole.
A what?
Bumhole.
Yeah, Jeramie's a straight-up bumhole. And just really, like, reels you in with something super interesting. And you're like, oh my god, like, this is such a cool story. Climax is amazing. But there's no ending. There's no resolution. It's just, and he leaves you high and dry. Oh my god, you're like every man on
And
the
sometimes the
planet.
story's not even fucking true.
Yeah, fuck you! It's sometimes he just straight up bullies me for a fucking 40 minutes, so...
Well, the good news is, this time I'm not sending any, like, demonic child spirits your way.
Thank you. So you won't...
I'm not gonna make you turn off the lights and listen to ghost stories.
Update. Haven't seen any. Let's hope it remains that way.
Well, Halloween is coming up, and it seems like they like that time of year.
That's true. You know what happened at the spookover?
Oh my god, imagine. We're all just chilling at the spookover and there's suddenly black-eyed kids on my balcony.
It's a dress-up.
I'm not wearing contacts.
Oh, actually, yeah. They're really uncomfortable. Yeah, okay, I'm not committed. Alrighty, ready. Are you ready? Y'all ready for this?
These aren't spirit fingers.
These
are spirit fingers. Is your case about cheerleading crimes?
It's not. That's a good.
Oh, well, and I'm not interested.
Though.
I don't want to hear
That's
it.
a good subject. No, but you might be happy. No one dies.
That's a first. Okay.
I feel like it's not the first.
It's probably not the first, but like it's uncommon for you.
Don't worry, next week I'll go back
Yeah,
to
you're
murder.
usually like heavy on the death.
Next week I'll go back to murder.
Of course you
But
will.
this week, no one dies. Yay!
Woo!
It's also...
I'll drink to that.
It's also not a woman, which is kind of lame.
I'll fucking drink to that too. About time.
But it is in Australia.
I'm sick of women. 2022 is all about men.
I'm sick of you. And the rest of your gender.
That's your problem, not mine.
Yes, well, it's always my fucking problem.
And you're the one who keeps coming back.
Addiction is a disease.
So you admit that you're addicted to
Oh,
me?
God. No, I'm not. No. No.
I'm pretty sure that's what you just said.
No, it's not. No, moving on. My case is still in Australia, which is very exciting. Also, I wrote in my notes, still in Australia, though, because Aussie.
I'm not saying it.
Jeramie! You have to! I said it!
It's not a law.
Yes, it is, Jeramie. Aussie. Jeramie, you have to say it! You are so un-Australian. We need to revoke your Australian citizenship.
No, that's not going to happen. I was born here.
No, you are not worthy.
Oi!
Thank you! It'd be better if you did it where it all flowed, but sure. Aussie.
Do what I want, don't tell me what to do.
Aussie. I hate you so much.
Bless you.
Ah! Fine. Be like that, you poo brain.
Oi!
Oh, you're so annoying. You know, whatever. The other thing about this case, you know what? Watch, fuck off. I don't want to still do it. My watch just sent me a notification that's like, Kirstyn, you can still close your exercise ring today. Just a brisk 18-minute walk and you're there. You know what? No.
How did you not get enough steps at work today, you fucking slacker?
Excuse you? Actually, why didn't I get a lot of steps? I was in 3 different areas today.
You're fucking lazy, that's how.
I'm fucking clearly disappointed in myself. But anyway. This is also a recent case. And by recent, I mean, 2 years ago recent. So, recent.
Okay.
So
it's like a COVID crime.
Yes and no. The person certainly took advantage of COVID life in Australia.
Restrictions.
Yeah, COVID restrictions, that's for sure. So, on April 27th, 2020. I almost said 22 out of habit. Awkward. It was in 2020. Carl...
I was going to say, who says 2020? That's
it felt weird
wrong.
as I was saying it, and then I was like, I can't stop, I'm already halfway through. It was 2020, okay? April 27th, 2020. Carl Jeramie, don't really care if I'm saying his name wrong, sounds like a bit of a douche. A 48-year-old stay-at-home dad. Cute. Love that gender swap there.
That is cute.
You know, got up. Mind you, the crime itself
What
happened.
did Mum do?
I couldn't find out much about his family, actually. It was very annoying. It said that he was a stay-at-home dad, but I couldn't find out how many kids he had, how old his children were.
He was a stay-at-home dad with 0 kids and no wife.
Honestly,
he seems
just
like an unemployed man that didn't
He seems like a
house.
massive douche, so that would not fucking surprise me. So anyway, 48-year-old Carl Jeramie was a stay-at-home dad, and he got up. Don't really know when, but the crime itself happened at 9:40 a.m. Got up, dressed himself as a tradie, standard cargo pants. Don't really fucking care what shoes he was wearing. Didn't tell me. Wasn't important. I'm assuming...
Well, if he was a tradie, probably work boots.
Yeah, but if he's a stay-at-home dad, he's probably not going to have work boots, so he was probably wearing, fucking thongs or something. The amount of tradies I've seen walking around in thongs.
It's not really work-site appropriate, is it?
Well, he wasn't an actual fucking tradie, Jeramie. He was a stay-at-home dad. His responsibilities were toileting and, feeding them.
Open-toed footwear is really not appropriate for that situation. Do you want piss on your toes?
How do you think children work? They don't just go around peeing on your feet, Jeramie. What?
You took way too long to think about whether or not you want piss on your toes.
I don't. I was like, why would there be pee on your toes? To be fair, though, the first time I ever changed my baby cousin, he's not a baby anymore, but I call him my baby cousin. My baby cousin's nappy. The minute I took down the front part of the nappy, he peed on me. Right onto Kirstyn. I was like, fucking... God, how much younger is he than me? 3. No, not 3. God, that's way too small. 7? I think he's 7 years younger than me. And he was very small. Was I changing a fucking nappy at 7 years old? Fuck me. Surely not. That sounds wrong. Anyway. Weird. Right, so... high-vis shirt, a hat. Didn't tell me what kind of hat. I'm envisioning maybe a cap, really faded. Or, other option, the straw hats.
Oh, yeah, like your outside hat.
Like your Bunnings hat.
Outside hats, but yeah.
So I'm envisioning either... It didn't tell me, and I was really, really mad. For this fucking happening 2 years ago, the amount of information I could find was fuck all. They all kept repeating the same thing. I was like, thank you. What colour was the high-vis shirt? Was he wearing long pants? Was he wearing shorts? Did he complete the look with work boots? What kind of hat was he wearing? What kind of sunnies were he wearing? Because he was also wearing sunnies.
What accessories did he have? Did he have a hammer? Did he have a saw? Did he have a tool belt? Why am I playing with embroidery scissors again? For fuck's sake.
No. Bestie had a gun. Which, how the fuck did he get a
What
gun
does he
in
think?
2020 in Australia? Like, is it really
Also,
that
what
hard?
does
Oh my
he
God.
think tradies do for work? They don't carry a gun. So he's gonna go shoot a person.
Yeah.
Does he shoot a bank?
No.
Does he shoot a shop?
No. You're like, what the fuck? I didn't even finish his outfit because, like, it's 2020, so COVID, and I don't know about our listeners, frankly. I
Oh,
don't know
right,
where
face
they're from.
masks.
Yeah, face masks. In Australia, you couldn't leave your fucking house without a face mask. Like, 90% of the time.
Wait, when in 2020 was it?
April.
Oh, April was early days. Face masks weren't a thing here yet in 2020.
In Victoria, they were.
Oh, okay, yeah. They
Mm.
weren't in Queensland. It
No.
was like...
But Victoria,
June.
they were. Because remember, Victoria was really anal about face masks in the beginning, weren't they?
Because Victoria was like
A massive
super
hotspot.
spread with it.
Literally, though. Yeah, so he was in... Sorry, I should have mentioned he was in Melbourne. So he was in Melbourne as well. So, like, the heart of Victoria. So they were all wearing masks. So pretty much when they left the house and stuff like that. Same as what we were a couple months later, but obviously they were already in that spot. And so he took advantage of that. So with the mask, glasses, and a hat...
He was like invisible.
But it's not like they can be like, you need to remove your mask.
But
because
not like
it's fucking-
lemon juice invisible, like
No.
actually invisible.
Not lemon juice invisible. COVID mask invisible.
Actual invisible, yeah.
So, he goes down to the Melbourne Gold Company Collins Street office. Melbourne Gold Company is obviously someone who trades in gold, in case that wasn't fucking obvious from the name. But they also do keep cash on the premises, jewelry, other, like, bougie shit. And from...
Like gold?
Yeah, from my understanding of it, you can, oh my god, why is my brain just not working? It's kind of like a pawn shop, but like a bougie version. Like, you can, like, go in and, like, give them gold. And they give you money.
So it's like a We Buy Gold shop.
That's my understanding of it. Super awkward if I'm fucking wrong, because I just realised that I didn't actually think to check that. I just assumed that that's what that was. And you know what happens when you assume, Jeramie? You make an ass out of you. And
You're
me.
just an asshole.
Mostly me just being a fucking idiot. So just really quickly, I'm just going to pretend that I definitely Googled this beforehand.
I'm definitely going to edit this out. Yeah.
You fucking are.
For sure.
I know you are. You're going to leave it in so everyone can just see me being a fucking idiot.
What? No, I wouldn't do that.
Yes, you would!
You wouldn't know any better. You don't listen.
Bullion dealers. What the fuck is bullion? What? Their website says, welcome to the Melbourne Gold Company, gold buyers and bullion dealers. What the fuck is bullion? It's spelled like billion, but with a U.
Yes, I know what bullion is.
What is it then, Jeramie? Oh, are you just fucking Googling it right now, you little shit?
No, but like, I know the word.
Oh, they also do, like, loans.
As in, like, stock. Like, stock. Bouillon?
No, Bulllion.
Oh, okay, because Bouillon is like stock, like the thing you use to make broth, which is how I knew the word.
No.
And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Googling bullion also gives me stock. I don't think it's a real thing.
Apparently it is to this website. It says short and long-term loans on gold jewelry and bullion.
Oh. Bullion.
That's what I said like 5 times. Actually, that's the 3rd time. Second time I've said it like billion, but I did spell it for you the second time.
Physical gold and silver of high purity that is often kept in form of bars, ingots, or coins.
Yeah, it looks like little nuggets.
So it's
Fucking gold. This is so stupid. Gold
It's
buyers
not- it's
and
not
bullion
Broth.
dealers. It's just gold.
It is not broth. It's not stock. You're not going to make a chicken
Well,
soup
just like in
with
case you wanted a live market rate, gold in Australian is $2,488.74 with a green arrow pointing up, so I assume that's good.
So that is how much AU is worth in AU dollars.
Yeah, but the silver says AG, so what's AG, babe?
Yeah, but you see... I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But AU is gold.
Well, what's AG? Is AG just like silver coins?
AG is silver, I think, yeah.
Okay, well, silver is $28.48.
I'm only
down.
a scientist by association,
Oh,
okay?
Stand. Oh my god! But not 24 carats. 99.9% pure gold. They pay 70...
AG element is silver, yeah, so AU is gold and AG is silver.
Oh, okay, so yeah. But I've just scrolled down a little bit more. If you can give them 24 karat gold, 99.9% pure gold, it's $75.14 per gram.
That's a lot per gram.
Yeah, literally though. Like, my ring is gold. I'm pretty sure my ring is 24 karat gold. I'll fetch a pretty penny for it. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I quite like this ring. Anyway, not that really matters.
Yeah, but I feel like you'd also like a pretty penny.
I would like a pretty penny because I'm poor. Anyway. So he waltzes on. Well, he doesn't really waltz. I don't really know what he did. He walked, I would assume. Be a bit odd if he waltzed down the street. Draw a lot of attention. Either way.
A little bit.
Popped in with a...
I mean, he's wearing high vis, which also draws a lot of attention. It's kind of the whole point of high vis.
Odd choice, not gonna lie, but he did it. Also a nice thing, his handgun wasn't loaded. Don't know if that's just because he couldn't source bullets. Wouldn't surprise me. Really tried to Google how the fuck he got a gun, because I just feel like it's quite hard to get a gun in Australia. Don't know for sure. Never tried to get a gun. Just know it's not as easy as America. Just putting it out there. I don't know what kind of gun. Don't really care. One article said a Glock. I just looked at it and I thought, black gun that you see in the movies.
It was a bang bang machine.
Yeah. It was black. You put it in your hand. You do the bang bang. And they have it in the movies.
The porn movies.
I didn't say what kind. Anyway, so he rocked up to the Melbourne Gold Company and pointed the gun at the employee, who also happened to be a manager apparently. And while he obviously had the gun there, he was like, "Give me gold, cash, jewelry, like, fucking give it to me all." Also, in none of the articles I read, it told me how the fuck he carried it out. Like, did he put it in a backpack? Did he use a duffel bag? Did he use one of those rolly suitcases? Did he use a duffel bag that has the wheels on the bottom? No information at all.
He just carried it in his hand.
Well, I assume gold would be
handfuls
fucking
of gold.
heavy, but no, that's not what they wanted to tell me. And it looks like he got... Oh, what the fuck? I accidentally started listening to the news that... Oh, wait a minute! They have fucking security footage. Jeramie, I can look at it now.
Did you even do your research?
I did, but I just accidentally clicked on another thing that I didn't see the first time. Also, to be fair, I was really fucking tired when I did my notes. But... Right, so I've got a bare accurate description of him. He's wearing long pants. He's wearing those navy pants. The long navy work pants. The ones that God wears to work, or used to wear to work.
Oh, yeah.
Then he's got... It's an orange high vis. It's not a vest. It's one of those button-down shirts with the navy here, and then the straps across the top.
Yeah.
And honestly, it looks like he's wearing a wide brim navy hat to complete the outfit.
Like a schoolboy hat?
Oh my god, it totally is. It's literally a wide brim. Hold on a sec, I'll do a screen grab so you can have a look. What does that button do? Ooh. Why do I do... I want to copy the picture. Oh gosh. What have I done? It's okay. Just accidentally click something.
This is Kirstyn using a computer for the first time.
I've been using them since I was a child. I'm just not very good at it. Ooh. Hey. Look at me. Crashing the game.
Oh yeah. I see. I think that's more of a high-vis jacket than a shirt.
Yeah, what the fuck? Those little fuckers lied to me. Every article said shirt, but that's definitely a fucking jacket.
Oh, 100%. And it looks like he has gloves on too.
Yeah, he does. Okay, so the thing that he's taken out...
It would have been quite warm in April.
Yeah, it would have been fucking hot. What a wanker. Do you reckon he was, like, trying to cover his skin? So they couldn't get, like, that kind of description of him? They were just like, oh, yeah?
Well, there were still parts of his face that you could see, though.
Yeah, but in most of the, like, footage, from what I can see, he's got his head, like, lowered. So you can't actually see any of his skin. So, I've just sent you a picture.
Show more skin.
Oh, gosh. Especially when you're doing a robbery. I've just sent you another screen grab. So it looks like he's got one of those little trolleys with the crate on the bottom. That, like, teachers have.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got one of those. So he's gone into obviously the company. He's pointed the gun at the Seki. Not the Seki. Sorry.
The manager.
Thank you. Manager. And he's demanded a bunch of gold cash jewelry. So he ended up walking out with $3.9 million worth of stuff.
Whoa!
Yes.
In that one crate.
Literally, though.
Okay, but, like, also, wouldn't that be really obvious to just see old mate walking down the street in literal high-vis with just, like, a crate of jewelry and gold following him?
It looks like it's one of those crates that's, like, fully black. I just sent you a picture of the gun. See what I mean by movie gun?
Yeah.
And that's the gold nuggets. Then, I'll try and show you a picture of his crate, because it looks more like a box with wheels. And it says,
They just look like tiny little, like, square ingots, because they've all been stamped and branded and everything, whereas nuggets are kind of like, you know, more natural formation, like a poo, but made out of gold.
What are you shitting out?
I'm shitting out gold.
I should.
Yeah. No, you know what it is, bestie? It's a esky. It's a cooler lunchbox kind of situation. Yeah.
I thought it was one of those crate things that teachers have.
Maybe.
Either way, pops in and is like, mate, give me all your shit. Walks out with $3.9 million worth of shit. So he's done an alright job. You know, covered
So
up
it works out.
Ish. And just because he's a fucking genius. Oh, by the way, he also zip tied the manager hands together and had him lie on the ground. Which is a really odd thing to do.
Okay.
Do you? And then just because he's fucking brilliant, he, you know, buried most of his loot on his mother's property in dollar.
Why did he bury it?
I don't know, because he's a fucking idiot. I'm assuming his plan was, like, steal it, bury it, wait for things to go quiet, and then try and fence it.
X marks the spot.
Literally, though. But he buried it in a small town named Dollar, which is in rural Gippsland, which is a place that you mentioned, or I mentioned in a previous episode, I feel like, because I called it Gippsland and you made fun of me for it.
Yes. I don't remember which story.
Neither do I just remember the name. And I remember you making fun of how I said it. Either way.
That doesn't sound like me.
Oh, no, not at all. So it turns out that there was CCTV footage, obviously, because I've just showed you a bunch of fucking screen grabs from it, in the building, because obviously it's a fucking gold trading company. They're going to have that.
What?
And police were able to use that, plus witness statements and other evidence involving a stolen car. They were able to make an arrest on the 30th or 30th. That's right. I was supposed to look that up. How many days are in April?
30 days has September, April 30.
Okay, so on the 30th of April, they arrested Carl Kachimi. Also, a 48-year-old woman was arrested around that time, but she was released pending further inquiries. Didn't really say much else about her. I think it was literally just that she knew Carl. It could have possibly been his baby mama or something like that, but she was released because it was found out that she had nothing to do with it. So, after he was arrested, he folded like a quesadilla and he led the police to where he had buried the trésor. However, there was $330,000 missing. So it wasn't all there. Then, in a Shyamalan twist, guess who asks for directions to the town of Dollar? Because they're stupid and can't use maps, apparently, even though this was 2 years ago and Google Maps ways. Really, any kind of fucking map is on your bloody phone, you wanker.
The town of Dollar?
Oh, that's where his mum's property was, where he buried the treasure.
His wife?
No.
Baby mama, girlfriend? The manager of the gold company.
Yep, the manager. And then upon reviewing the footage a second time, it looks like Eid, the guy, don't remember his first name, didn't really care, is actually like low-key directing Carl the entire time on what to do and like what places to pull from and to like point the gun at him. So, bit embarrassing. He straight up turned around and was like, "Oh, what? I had nothing to do with this. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. All I did was ask for directions to Dollar, where the money was buried." Weird, but not me.
It's just a town. People go to towns.
Yeah, definitely in rural Gippsland. Super common from Melbourne. So Kachami faces 5 charges of stealing, aggravated burglary, and firearm offences, which I'm assuming hold a fair bit of weight in Australia because we're really strict with our firearm stuff.
They'd have to, yeah. But
the fact that he has a medical condition, which, again, not super forthcoming on what the medical condition was. Maybe it's that he's dumb and doesn't know how to steal.
That's a medical condition.
Literally, though. Lack of prior convictions and his cooperation with the police, i.e. literally leading them directly to where the shit was buried, led to him being granted bail. So stupid.
Yay!
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he didn't actually fucking hurt anyone, which is nice. Which the judge...
He just stole $3.9 million.
Yeah, which is funny too, because Kachami claimed that the robbery was a victimless crime. And then the judge straight up turned around and was like, no, the fuckers who own the store are the victims. You've just stolen $3.9 million worth of their, property. Sit the fuck down and shut up. Also, the judge was, low-key fucking hilarious. So he's quoted as saying, "Had it not been for your ineptitude, the amount stolen could have been much higher." Wherein he's referring to the CCTV footage where Eid, the manager, literally almost points at a safe with $4 million worth of shit in it.
What?
But the judge called him out for not getting the fucking hint, which is really embarrassing. The judge also questioned why his defense was stressing his why his defense used his stress surrounding finance and his financial position and, like, the pandemic. So basically, Jeramie was like, oh, it's been really rough on me with the pandemic. Like, I've lost income. So I'm assuming that when it says stay-at-home dad, Bestie lost his job in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that's why he was a stay-at-home dad. But he tried to claim, I'm under a lot of financial stress. That's why I did it. That's why I tried to steal from this gold company. And then the judge was like, okay, Bestie, you own 2 properties in, like, high-end areas of Melbourne. And his income from those 2 properties amounted to about $17,000 a month.
Whoa!
Yeah. The judge was like, why didn't you just fucking sell one of your properties? And the guy was all like, because, like, it's really hard being a landlord. Because apparently one of his properties is like a big, like, share house kind of thing, and he went from 12 people down to 2 when the pandemic hit because everyone kind of moved back home and shit like that. And I was like, oh, you poor little baby. Shut up.
I just need to go splash some water on my face. I seem to be having
your
situation. I'm like,
are you me right now?
Yeah, I'm like,
I was just going to keep going because I'm almost done, so.
Just give me a sec, sorry.
You're fine. Love the Vegemite pants, by the way. So turns out he's, like, a really successful, like, property investor kind of thing, and he just, bringing in $17,000 a month, but, the pandemic really hit him hard.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Been real
feeling
tough
for you, mate.
Yeah. So, it was a bit iffy in a lot of the articles that I read as to, like, what his actual sentencing came down to. Because a lot of the articles that I read were just the, like, before bits that were like, yeah, so he's been blah, 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 blah. But I did end up finding one article which actually finally told me at the fucking end, which was so annoying. And it was, like, the way it was read, I was like, girl, stop. But it didn't actually say what he was sentenced to, it just said that he was sentenced. So that's what I mean by, like, the articles were kind of annoying in that sense.
Yeah.
So he was remanded into custody on the November the 23rd of 2020, so relatively quick proceedings considering that, it was COVID, so...
because, like, everything had to kind of come to a halt, especially in Melbourne. Like, they were under, like, constant lockdown.
Well, from the sounds of it, he was in jail, like, the whole time the trial was happening.
So he was in lockdown.
Yeah. So this article was published in October 29. Yeah, October 29, 2020. So then... Oh, no, he will be sentenced. Sorry, my bad. He was going to be sentenced on November 23rd, 2020. But I couldn't find anything after that to see what he was sentenced. But at that stage in October, he had already served 62 days in jail.
Fair.
So he was, he's still as far as I'm aware, he's still in custody. I'm assuming he would have served, like, an amount of time. I wouldn't be surprised if it was about 2 years-ish. Because that was the minimum that he was supposed to serve. Was 2 years in jail. So I wouldn't be overly surprised if his sentence was up this year. But yeah, so just to, like, end out this and make it super depressing, there wasn't too much information on the manager because I think his was a little bit less in the press compared to Jeramie. But, as I said, he also has denied all involvement in it. But to make it a little bit more depressing, he apparently had known the owners of the gold company for 15 years.
And he was prepared to take 3.9 million from them.
He was prepared to
Cool.
take 7.9 million, remember? Because there was that $4
Right,
million
oh yeah.
dollar safe that he was pointing to that little dickhead Kachami didn't even, like, fucking notice. So, yeah, not super depressing because no one died, but depressing that someone who isn't actually that badly affected by the pandemic thinks that it's okay to, like, fuck over a business and get help from someone who knows these people. So.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Bit trash, but that's my story of the week. Oh, God. Oh, my God, I thought I just closed Skype, and I was like, fuck me dead. I'm so dumb. I didn't. I just got rid of the small U. But yeah. Something a little different for this week.
Something different. I liked it. It was interesting. I don't like that person. I don't like either of those people.
Neither. Shitty people.
Really shitty.
Literally.
Not ideal.
I will say, I was surprised by how little information I could find on this, considering this happened 2 years ago.
That's true, yeah.
Compared to, like, my other cases where I can usually get background on the perpetrator, fucking their sentencing, blah, blah, blah. This all happened, like, 10 years ago. I was like, fuck me. Rude.
It's utter nonsense.
But.
Well, I have a story for you.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, just a separate story before my mystery. Something happened to me this week. I had an experience that I was not prepared for.
This sounds like you were, like, assaulted.
Okay, no. No. It was just uncomfortable. It was weird. It was unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. It was an unpleasant experience.
So, we went to dinner. Like, went across the Story Bridge. It was a lovely walk. Got to look at the city. It was very pretty. We went down
that
to this
place
cute
with
little...
the mugs, right?
Yes, we went to this cute little restaurant underneath the Story Bridge. It was really nice. They had tacos. They had margaritas.
Yeah.
Not the point of the story, but they were amazing. I am 100% going back there. However, there was one part of the dining experience that I was not prepared for.
Or did they just, like, slap you with a taco?
No, that's a strip club.
Oh. Ooh.
No, one thing that I really wished someone had warned me about was the bathroom experience.
Why? Was it like the American toilets where the cubicles have, like, the gaps that are, like, fucking 20 centimeters wide?
It was not. It was a fully enclosed room.
Okay.
It was also not one of those horror experiences where you walk in and it is just filthy and dirty and, like,
that's what I was going to be like.
stuff
Like,
is
it was
sprayed
just
up
like
the wall.
it was like shit all over the walls.
No, it was immaculately clean. Immaculately clean. Shinily so. Because, so I walked into this tiny little cubicle-sized room with nothing but a toilet in it, and I was met with floor-to-ceiling mirrors on every wall of the toilet.
So, like, while you're sitting down, you're like, oop, it's me!
Yep, there was even one on the back of the door.
You can't even, like, look away to be like, no, I won't look there because there's a mirror, I'll look here.
I didn't even think to look up at the ceiling to, like, see if the ceiling was mirrored too.
No, can you imagine,
But,
like,
yeah,
you're sitting there, taking a shit, and you're looking at yourself and you're like, oh, fuck. So you look to the side of you, like, oh, fuck. You look to the other side, oh, fuck. And then you're like, fuck it, I'll look at the ceiling. And you look up and you're like, ah! It's my vagina!
No matter... Why is your vagina on the ceiling?
I don't know. I don't even think you can see it.
But mine wasn't so much, oh no, I'm going to see my bits. It was more... Well, I don't really want to make eye contact with myself while I'm going pee.
Actually, that's like, I fucking hate it. I think it's Taco Bell. You sit down, and the whole room isn't mirrored, but there's a mirror directly across from you above the basin. You sit down, and you're just like, hello. And I'm always like...
Okay, slightly better than a mirrored room, but I feel like that should be a crime.
Literally, though. Oh, okay, so I'm getting that when I join you on a Marg trip there, pee before I leave. Otherwise, I'll be assaulted by my own fucking face.
But the thing is, you have to walk across the Story Bridge to get there, which is not a short walk, and they don't have little pee stops on the Story Bridge.
Oh, God. Wait, why can't we drive?
I mean, we're drinking.
Oh, fuck.
You can't drive.
No, that's bad.
That is a crime.
Literally.
And I can't drive because I don't have a license.
That's a crime
Also
too.
a crime.
I can drive because I do have a license.
But also I don't like city driving. I get really bad passenger anxiety.
I get driver's anxiety and also do not like driving in the city. Though
that's why we can't drive in the city.
Every time I visit Lizard, she makes me drive, so I get better at driving in the city. I'm fairly good at it now, but still I'm like... Sometimes.
Well, anyway, that's my story for the week. So, shall we go to socials and sign off?
Yeah, alright, bye. See you next week, so you can find us at...
No, I do actually have a case. I let me get my notes up. Alright.
I hope you have a case. Oh, my eyeballs itchy.
I do. This is the case of the mirrored toilet. No.
Spoiler alert.
I really needed someone else to know about that experience. And I the next day was like, I'm sure someone has to have mentioned this in a review. Like,
sure.
I'm sure there's a review going, didn't like having to look at myself while I peed. And I went and I read every single review for this place on Google. And not one mentioned food was amazing, margs were the fucking bomb, could have done without copping an eyeful of my own junk everywhere I looked. Like...
Clearly the people that are going to that restaurant like looking at their own junk. We're not here to kink shame, Jeramie. We're not here to kink shame.
We are not. Anyway, I should move on to, like, an actual story. Like a case. A mystery. One without an ending. Like the mystery of who the fuck put mirrored walls in a toilet.
I wonder who designed it. Like, were they sitting there and they were like, oi, I've got a genius fucking idea. It's probably someone with, like, a narcissistic kink where they like watching themselves fuck. And they were fully thinking about customers that are going to fuck in the bathroom. And they were like, these fuckers are going to love it.
Fair if it was a unisex bathroom, but there was a separate cubicle for men, women, and there was a unisex disabled toilet.
Just because it's a men's toilet doesn't mean that only men can use it. The amount of time I've used a men's toilet because the fucking line to the ladies
That's true.
is ridiculous. Oktoberfest, a couple of years ago.
And you know what makes the line so long? Probably all these people fucking in the toilet. Okay, I'll move on from the toilet, okay?
It's weird.
I was not prepared for it. It has done a number on me. A number 1, maybe a number 2.
Oh.
It's done a number on me,
really
and I was not...
What if you did have to shit? You would just be sitting in there
you
for
don't want to watch yourself do that.
20 minutes, like, hello...
Sorry guys, that's just me peeing in a mirrored bathroom. Just watching myself.
While I'm watching behind the mirror.
Alright, so it's a relatively short but wacky one for me this week.
Ew.
I wanted to cover something different to what I've been covering the past few weeks, so I just went for something really strange. There's no children involved.
Oh, cool.
Neither missing nor black-eyed.
Yay.
No one dies. People disappear.
Well, Leslie.
Well, so I actually looked into this case a while back, and I honestly could have sworn that I already wrote these notes, but apparently I am mistaken as I cannot find them. Because literally I was like, oh, what do I want to talk about this week? And I'm like, oh, let's go with that case. I'm like, I already did the research for that. Pretty sure I wrote the notes. Oh, I'll just grab those and, like, update them or finish them or whatever. I was like, maybe I didn't finish them. And then I searched all of my documents, nowhere to be found. But I have a distinct memory of researching this case. And, like, when I started to Google it, it all showed up the suggestions of what I was Googling. And I'm like, so I looked it all up. I just never wrote it. That's cool.
Oh.
What a waste of my time.
It disappeared.
Ghost notes.
Secretly, that's what his case is about. The case of his disappearing notes.
Yeah, I've just finished my story. I'm done. There's no fun facts, there's nothing. No. But this is another case where I don't actually really have a location to base my fun facts on.
Oh.
So I once again just picked a theme that I wanted to look into, and I found a way to, like, ever so loosely link it to my case. It's what I do sometimes where I'm just like, I really feel like Googling this week and learning more about it. How can I connect it? I don't know. I'll find a way. And honestly, if I couldn't find a way, I would have just done it anyway, because I don't have to explain myself to you. So, shh. I do what I want. So, here are some fun facts about beer. The golden elixir that proves that there is good in the world.
It tastes like ass.
That is why I wanted to buy beer this afternoon, but none of it was cheap. But then Mateo was like, why didn't you tell me? I would have bought you beer.
Aww.
So instead I'm drinking, vodka now.
Mm-hmm.
I also should note that I did the research for these fun facts. And by research, I mean Googling beer.
Look at you
While drinking a glass of red wine and getting ready to go out for margaritas. So
basically anything but
crushed it. Yeah. And today I have had white wine, gin, and now vodka. So nailing it. Also, that was a Wednesday when I was doing those notes. So I'm not an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic. I'm just Australian. That's what it is, honestly. Let's be real. All right. So, fun facts about beer. I'm assuming you don't know much about it, considering you think it tastes like ass, because you have no taste, which doesn't surprise me. I've seen your dating history.
Oh. I can't even.
Refute it?
Okay, my taste in men. And women, actually. Okay, my
Bad.
taste in humans is not great when it comes to romantic relationships. My taste...
You have good taste when it comes to platonic relationships.
My taste in platonic relationships is great.
You just let the wrong ones inside you.
Oh.
You're not wrong.
But the liquid taste I have is good. Beer, I tried to word that. Beer is gross.
You're gross.
I know it has yeast in it, and it's yellowy and fizzy and foamy. And if you're pouring
and
it
hops
out of a tap, you should angle the glass.
If you're pouring it into a glass from any means, you should do that. If you're pouring it from a bottle into a glass or from a can into a glass, you should also angle it as it comes up, because otherwise that's what creates the foam. So anytime you are pouring beer into a glass, you want to have the glass angled.
Okay. But
then you slowly turn it upright.
Turn it upright, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, I could probably confidently name 5 brands of beer.
Go. Do it now.
Great Northern, VB, 4x gold. Shit. No. It starts with a B. It starts with a B. Bean Pie drinks it. Fuck. Byron Bay Beers or Byron Bay Brewery. It's Byron Bay. I think it's Byron Bay Brewery. Oh, fuck me. I should have said 4. What have I said? VB, 4X Gold. Great Northern. The dry one. The Tooheys. There we go. 5
Okay,
beer.
so... Alright, as our resident beer expert, you probably don't need to hear these fun facts then.
Because I clearly know everything.
Alright, well, as our resident beer expert then, Kirstyn, for you, this one should be a no-brainer, I would assume. Which country drinks the most beer?
Australia?
No.
Oh, no, Germany.
Yeah, you'd have to say Germany, no?
Yeah, because of Oktoberfest.
Well, apparently you would be wrong.
England?
Per capita, apparently the Czech Republic drinks the most beer.
Really?
But in terms of overall consumption, China takes the title.
China?
Think of the number of people.
Oh, right, yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, per capita, Czech Republic drinks the most beer. You would assume it would be Germany, yes. But speaking of the Czech Republic and beer, they were the first country to have a beer museum, which sounds really rad, but also, I mean, if you ask me, any museum is a beer museum. You just drink a beer while you walk through it.
No, that's not how museums work.
That's what, like, non-see-through drinking vessels are for.
Oh my god, Jeramie, have you gotten drunk at a museum before? Because that sounds really fun. Invite me, I'm not fucking drinking beer.
Just pro tip, Kirstyn, anytime, unless it is anything to do with, like, work, like if I'm on my way to or at work, that being the only exception, anytime that you see me with a, coffee cup.
It's got beer in it.
Like,
It's got alcohol in it.
It's got some kind of alcohol in it. I'm just making it look like I'm just drinking a coffee on the go, but...
You're a genius.
Yeah. That's what the beauty...
Actually,
If this water bottle weren't see-through, it would probably more often than not be filled with booze. But it is see-through and yellow, so it has water in it.
I want to go to the art gallery. Hi.
That would also be cool. But you would also blend in perfectly walking around with a coffee cup in an art gallery. So, like, we'll go have, like, 2 drinks and then take our coffee cup full of whatever we're drinking to the art gallery and have a great time. We won't take Mateo. He doesn't understand art.
What?
We'll take Reese. Or Mateo just doesn't like art. He doesn't get it. He just complains the whole time. Reese likes a good art show, though. All right.
Pretty.
In some countries, Macca's has beer on the menu.
I have heard that.
I would love to go to Macca's and have a beer with my Big Mac or my quarter pounder or I don't know what else do I eat from Macca's. I would love to go and have a beer with my bacon and egg McMuff.
Oh. Hash browns.
What the perfect start to a morning. Oh my god, can you imagine a Sunday morning when you're like, you're not quite hungover, but you're still a bit seedy, and you're like, I just need some fatty food.
Mm.
And you go to Macca's, and you get your bacon and egg McMuff, your hashy, and then they're like, and what do you want for the drink? And you look up and you're like, I'll have a pint of beer, mate. Thanks.
I mean, I wouldn't. I can see how you would like that. I could also see being behind my dad vibing with that. Actually, even my mum, like her rocking up and being like, yeah, I'll take a large Big Mac with a Great Northern Light, please.
Like, honestly, there's not much better than a morning beer. It's a great way to start a weekend morning. Not gonna lie. In the early 2000s, Belgian elementary schools began offering beer as a healthier alternative to soft drink.
Oh, sorry, what? They're offering alcohol to children?
Okay, but it was like a lighter alcohol content beer. So it was like a light beer.
But okay.
But it's also Belgium. Like...
Fair. Isn't their
it's
drinking
Europe.
age, like, young?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, like, most of Europe is, like, 16.
I think they're a bit more lax and it's kind of more common. Beer is one of the oldest beverages and can reportedly be traced back to 3500 BC. This actually leads me to a fun fact that I didn't need to research because I learned it organically a few weeks ago. Ooh. So, remember when I went to that food and wine festival? Yes. And I did not have any food, had a lot of wine.
Bit of a cuckoo banana bread moment for you, but okay.
I feel like it's pretty on brand for me.
Very on brand.
I don't eat.
But, like...
wine is where it's at.
I like to eat my feelings, so...
See, I'm the opposite. Or some feelings I eat, but, like, the really, really bad feelings I starve. Like, my body's response to depression is to just not eat. So yeah, at that food and wine festival, we went to a bunch of different stalls and we tried things. And we came across a stall for mead. Now, we've all heard of mead.
Beer.
Yeah, it comes up all the time. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my thought of it too. The old-timey beer, because you hear about it in Norse stories. Beer? You hear about it in, like, we'll burn that bridge. You hear about it in, like, Norse stories or old movies, like, in those times, games like Skyrim and stuff, you always hear about mead, like, pour the mead, and they have, like, the big barrel-style glasses and that shit. So, I, like you, just assumed that mead was old-timey beer. Turns out, it is not. It's not beer at all.
Oh!
Yep. Beer and mead are not the same thing. It is also not wine, but it is closer to wine than it is to beer. However, it is neither. So, mead is actually made from fermenting honey mixed with water. It is also fucking delicious, which is surprising because I don't like honey.
Like at all? Do you not like honey at all?
No, I don't, like, hate it. I'm just not a fan of it. Like,
I'm trying to think of something I really like honey on, but my brain is just gone.
Sometimes I'll have something, I'm like, oh, there's a hint of honey in this. Complex. This is nice. But, no.
I like how you're like...
sugar and milk kind of guy.
No. Ew, Kirstyn, how dare you have honey. How dare you have honey on your fucking complex. Gross. Wow, okay.
I like how you stopped talking as if me coughing was going to affect your audio track.
I forgot. Okay. Damn. Rude.
But no, so mead is not beer, like both of us thought. Because Reese said the same thing. She's like, because we're looking at the sign, we're like, not beer, not what? The fuck is mead then? What? And the lady came over and she's like, hi. And we're like, can you tell us about mead? We're confused. You're like, cool. And she's like, yes.
What?
And she went on a long spiel, and then she's like, here, try this one. And we had to try it, and then she's like, or try this one. This is the more traditional one, the one that doesn't have tropical fruit flavors added to it. And I tried the traditional one. I'm like, can I buy a glass of this, please? This is yummy. Mm. And I was like, it tastes like honey, and I don't like honey. That's weird. Give it to me.
Give it to me, baby.
But yes, so...
No?
No. When I got to that part where it was like the fact that it's one of the oldest beverages, I was like, oh yeah, mead. And I'm like, no, Jeramie, you know that it's not mead. You learned that.
Awkward. It's like your brain still hadn't caught up yet.
Yes. You will like this one.
Ooh.
The brewers in ancient Egypt were women.
You know what?
Apparently.
Don't know if you know this about me, Jeramie.
But you like women?
I do. Love them. But when I was younger, still low-key a bit now, I had a massive obsession with Egypt. And I actually wanted to be an Egyptologist when I was little.
Me too!
And, like, I'm looking at my bookshelf right now, and, like, the middle, like, part is literally, like, 1, 2, 3.
That
4,
is
5,
literally
6.
how Assassin's Creed finally got me on board, is they brought out Origins, because I was like, I don't want to play that game, it's done. And then Origins came out, and I'm like, well, it's ancient Egypt, of course I'm playing that. And then, of course, the next one was ancient Greece, and I'm like, and I'm playing
I
that.
literally have, like, 8 books on my bookshelf right now about Egypt. One, and then there's another one which is just about ancient history, but I only got because it involved Egypt.
To learn about Egypt.
And then there's also one there which is purely just a notebook of mine where I would write things about Egypt in it. I even remember one time when I was younger, because in the book as well, there's like 2 pages of different handwriting, because I think I had to work or something, and there was a documentary on TV about Egypt. And so I made Cindy watch it for me and take notes because I was going to miss it.
Oh.
I was such a little fucking nerd for Egypt. Like...
Bit of a slut for Egypt myself.
Literally! That's why my wrist tattoo has a pyramid, because Egypt.
Yes, so supposedly the brewers in ancient Egypt were women, and the builders of the Great Pyramids were paid in beer.
Oh!
Apparently, according to the website that I got these fun facts from.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, I would like to be paid in beer.
I mean, like,
Actually,
maybe...
no, I'd like to be paid in money with beer as well.
Yeah,
like beer is benefits.
I can't imagine our work paying you in beer and you'd be happy with that, because like then you wouldn't be able to pay rent.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy because I'd have beer, but I'd not... That's fine, I'd just keep like squatting in these people's heads where I don't have to pay rent. But last but not least, in the Middle Ages, beer was apparently a part of a healthy diet.
Oh,
it was consumed daily. Yeah, I'm happy to hear it. It was consumed daily as it was considered to be necessary for health. In other news, completely unrelated, I am taking on a new Middle Age-inspired diet.
Is it beer every day?
It is beer every day. To go with my wine every day, because the wine keeps me looking young. It preserves me. It pickles me. I like pickles.
Okay, salad fingers.
I like pickles. Alright, so this week I am going to be telling you the tale of a ghost ship.
Ooh.
Well, kind of. Much like the last one, there's no ghosts.
But
there's a
sake,
ship.
Jeramie. Stop calling it the tale of a ghost ship. It's no fucking ghost.
It's... Everything refers to it as a ghost ship, okay? It's weird. It's a weird ship. How about that?
Thank you.
This is the tale of the Ellen Austen and the unidentified ship. So, Ellen Austen is the ship that we're following for the majority of this story. But she's not alone.
Oh. Does she have a bestie?
Built in Maine. She does. She gets a bestie. It's cute. They're like 2 ships in the night. Except it's daytime and lots of things happen. Built in Maine in 1854 out of white oak, the Ellen Austen was a 210-foot or 64-meter schooner, which is a type of ship, and that is the extent of my knowledge on what that is.
I thought a schooner was a type of glass that you drink beer out of.
this is where I have to explain the ever so tenuous connection between the fun facts and my case.
Okay. Is it because
And also, as it turns out, I also have to really explain it because this is only a thing in Australia. Well,
wait, what?
Except for South Australia. Yeah, so I started writing my fun facts, and then I was like, Mateo, I have the greatest. Okay, so I'm talking about a ghost ship. It's a schooner. He's like, okay. And so my fun facts are about beer, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, because a schooner of beer, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to explain that because that's an Australian thing.
What?
I'm sorry, what? And then I googled it. We're the only country that has schooner as a unit of measurement for beer, and every state calls it a schooner except for South Australia.
Why?
Because they're South Australian.
You know what? That's why you have
the
the murder capital of the world, guys, because you can't call a fucking schooner a schooner.
They call it a pint because then they call a pint an imperial pint. Because that's not confusing.
What? That's so much longer than to say. Just say, can I have a schooner?
I mean, some places don't serve schooners anymore anyway. I actually went to one bar and was like, oh, can I have a schooner of this beer? And he's like, mate, all I have is a pint or a pot. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to have a fucking pot. This is an amateur hour. Like, I guess I'll have to upgrade and I'll have a pint. Hit me.
With your best shot.
And then he didn't hit me, which was also disappointing.
That's weird.
So, basically, as we just said, yes, a schooner is a type of ship. But a schooner is also a unit of measurement for beer in Australia, unless you're South Australian, because...
You're stupid.
Why do we let you exist? A schooner is a glass that holds 425 milliliters or 14.3 fluid ounces of beer. And that is the link between a ghost ship and beer. I told you it was loose.
No, it makes sense.
But I made it work. I made it work. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really go into any further information about the ship or its history outside of this encounter than that. Because I honestly just didn't have the energy or really want to, and I just plain wasn't really interested, so... I was like, well, I kind of have to mention that it's a schooner, otherwise my facts won't make any sense.
Otherwise it's loose like me bumhole. Not my bumhole. Not mine.
Anyway, I'm just going to bite straight into the juicy center and jump to the story that we're here for. It is December of 1880, and the Ellen Austen sets off for New York from London. And it's several weeks into the trip, in the Sargasso Sea, that this story takes place. No wonder I'm struggling to read. I did not zoom in on my document. I'm like, why is it so small?
Awkward.
Now, the Sargasso Sea is in the Atlantic Ocean, but it's kind of hard for me to describe the location as it doesn't have any land boundaries to define it. So it's within something called a gyre, which sounds like it's just a system of circulating currents. And basically, this is a patch of sea bordered by 4 currents within the Atlantic Ocean, but it's described as being generally calm and having a distinctive deep blue color and exceptional clarity, with visibility of up to 61 meters or 200 feet deep. Not really relevant or important. I just found it interesting, and I found it interesting, and I thought you might like to know.
Thank you.
Like, you can be in this sea and just look down and see up to 61 meters down. That's a lot of meters.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Like, that's probably like 38 Kirstyns. Just to put it in a term of measurement that you can relate to.
Thank you. That is really fucking cool though. But I also feel like I would just like look down and be like, turtle. 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 Turtle.
That is fair.
That's literally all I would be doing.
So, from what I've seen on a map, and from what I've read, there are 3 locations on land that I can use as a reference point just to give you a rough idea of where the Sargasso Sea is located. Like, it doesn't have land boundaries, but these can help, like, kind of give you a rough idea.
Okay.
Whereabouts. So, Puerto Rico, Florida, and Bermuda. Do these 3 locations mean anything in particular to you?
Bermuda Triangle?
The area in between these 3 points is commonly referred to as the Bermuda Triangle. And looking at maps, it seems like the Sargasso Sea, or at least some of it, falls within that triangle. So, the Ellen Austen is sailing her way through the Sargasso Sea when she comes across another vessel.
Bum, bum, bum.
This vessel is also a schooner, because, well, as we all know, you can never just have one schooner. Like,
I literally keep
gotta
thinking
have
of
2,
a drink.
minimum.
So every time you say it, I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, it's a boat.
Only this vessel appeared to be sailing an erratic path.
Oh.
Similar to that of the Mary Celeste when she was found. And if you're unfamiliar with the story of the Mary Celeste, that was also a ghost ship without any ghosts that I covered in episode 9, A Pinata Full of Bodies. It feels really weird saying back the names of our episodes because, like, they make sense in the context that we name them.
Yeah.
Or in the context that the original quote came from, but, like, then when I say it back, I'm like, what were we thinking? So, Ellen, which I've decided we're just going to call her that now. That's her name. It's too many words otherwise.
Fair.
She sees this vessel just, like, erratically sailing along, and it doesn't look like anyone's aboard. Not great. But Ellen's captain is both concerned because, as I said, she's sailing erratically and there's no one aboard. But he's also cautious.
Because it's sketchy.
He's like, yeah, he's like, besties, this seems sus AF. That's probably how a ship captain talked in the 1880s, honestly. Like, I'm sure of it.
Hi, me hearty, this looks sketchy as fuck.
I see a ship captain standing there in the 1880s just being like, besties, this seems sus AF. She is giving me bad vibes.
I've got one.
Not having it. No.
I've got one.
Not here for it today.
Captain, there's a ship in the distance. It's doing all this really weird shit. Captain looks, it's a bit how you going.
It is a bit how you going. You're not wrong.
Exactly.
That's an Aussie captain back in 1880. Yeah. She's a bit how you going.
You don't know.
Well, he probably wasn't Australian because it was the 1880s and he was sailing from London.
True.
Well, he may have ended up an Australian because he may have become a convict. Who knows?
We don't know his story.
Anyway, basically, the ship gave bad vibes. The captain was worried that while it may be legit that the ship was abandoned, the ship's abandoned appearance may also actually be a trap to, like, ambush other ships, to, like, you know, board them and then...
Pirate!
Hey, give us all your money! Bang, bang, you're dead. Yeah, like a pirate overthrow ambush kind of thing. So what he did was he instructed his crew to follow... Let's name her Jane Doe. She needs a name too. We got Ellen, now we've got Jane Doe. She's unidentified, this works. Okay, alright. Ellen's captain instructed his crew to follow Jane Doe just to see what happened. And after 2 days of observing Jane, there was no sign of life or movement. So his caution subsided, and basically Ellen got close enough to kind of yell out, Hello!
Ahoy there, me
Is there
matey!
anybody out there?
Is there anybody out there? 'Cause I feel as if I'm talking to myself. I feel as if I'm going insane.
I'm sitting right here. You're not talking to yourself, but thanks. Nice. Love that. They got no response, so Ellen's crew boarded Jane Doe with their weapons drawn.
Fair.
Again, calling out to any crew aboard with no response. Upon further investigation, Ellen's crew found that they were the only people aboard Jane Doe.
Oh.
And this ship was reportedly in well-maintained condition. There were no signs of the crew, but there was also no signs of violence or any reason for the crew to have left. So, like, unlike with Mary, where there was...
like, shit everywhere, like, sketchy...
Yeah, where they were like, oh, there's slashes in the brig, and there's...
cuts and stuff, wasn't there?
And there was evidence of minor flooding in the ship and everything. Like, there was stuff where you could look at it and go, oh, maybe this is why they left. This was just straight up no sign of anything. And the further that they looked into it, they realized that the only things other than the crew that were missing were the captain's log and the vessel's nameplate, which had been removed from the bow.
That's sketchy as fuck.
Thus making Jane Doe completely unidentifiable.
True.
Because those are the only two things that could identify her. The captain's log and her nameplate. They also found that Jane was carrying a well-stocked cargo of mahogany in her hold that was completely untouched. Now, as we learned from Mary Celeste, finding an abandoned ship and bringing it back with you earned you a salvage payout. So, Ellen's captain was definitely wanting to bring Jane Doe back with him to port, especially with such a handsome cargo aboard. And so he split his crew in two, having some of his best men take control of Jane Doe as a salvage crew and follow Ellen on her journey. And for 2 days, the ships sailed together without issue. Just two besties, chilling out,
vibing,
sailing the seas, you know,
as you do
having
with
some
your
fun.
besties.
Yeah, Jane and Ellen just like vibing through the sea. Just, I'm picturing like the road trip to end all road trips, except it's by sea. You know, like Thelma and Louise, but without the cliff. Because there's ocean.
Which I don't think is going to be better for them.
So for 2 days, the ships sailed together without issue, but on the third, a severe storm broke out. I saw mention of this being a result of like a hurricane that was ripping through Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi at the time, which would actually make the fact that this storm reportedly lasted a couple of days and separated the two vessels make sense.
Oh, that would be really awkward.
Yeah, so the storm supposedly lasted a few days, and when it cleared and the ocean was calm again, there was no sign of Jane Doe.
Oh.
Ultimately, Ellen continued her journey forward. She's got places to be, people to see, things to do. You know, Jane doesn't want to be there anymore. That's her problem. Bye.
Catch you on the flip side,
now,
motherfuckers.
So, she's continued her journey. She's continued her journey. However, now she is short of a second ship with a handsome cargo and some of her best crew members. Because they were all... they had all taken charge of Jane. So...
how bad would
now the captain only has... yeah. He's gonna feel worse.
Oh, great.
I told you, no one dies.
Mm-hmm.
After a few days, the lookout, the captain, I don't know, it just said a person. Your guess is as good as mine. Someone on Ellen noticed something in their spyglass. The sails of a derelict ship sailing erratically. And as they got closer, they found they were once again looking at Jane Doe. They were to be reunited with their new ship best friend.
Yay!
And her handsome cargo.
And
as well as their missing crew members.
Jesus.
Well, not quite. So, apparently, very quickly, they realized that something was amiss. Jane was sailing so very erratically that it reportedly took quite some time for Ellen to catch up with her. Like, she's just like, Jane,
Bestie
come back,
Jane,
it's me,
I'm here.
it's Ellen, Jane.
Girl, why did you
Jane,
run
over
from
here.
me?
Like, you just looked right at me. Why did you keep walking faster?
Been there, done that.
I feel like we've both been on either end of that situation, though, let's be real.
Probably.
Eventually, Ellen did manage to catch up with her, and as they got close enough to finally board the vessel again, they were met with a worrying reality. It was eerily familiar. Much like the first time Ellen's crew had boarded Jane, she bore no signs of a crew being present. The crew they had sent to man the vessel were nowhere to be found. Reportedly, even more eerie, the condition of the ship was no different to the last time they had been aboard her. The rations, completely untouched.
Oh.
The bunks, not slept in. And the logbook that Ellen's captain had left aboard last time, no longer present.
The
It had
Bermuda Triangle
disappeared
was like,
much...
no, I got rid of the Fetsum for a reason. What are you doing?
Yeah. The BT is like, stop. No.
That's a no from
I
me.
tried once. It's not happening. It was almost as if Ellen and Jane had never met. It was like they'd never come across each other that first time. No wonder Jane was just like, why is this girl following me? I don't know her. Goodbye. Please leave me alone.
Away from me.
Okay, cool. Like, no, not happening. Now, Ellen's captain, I think his name was Baker. I saw the word Baker a lot, but I was like, but he's a ship person.
Maybe he also
He
had a
doesn't
side
bake.
job as a baker.
Okay, maybe he was a baker or his name was Baker. Who knows?
We'll never know.
I didn't put that much effort into it. So Ellen's captain, who may or may not have been called Baker or been a baker,
We'll never
or
know.
gone or known a baker at some point in his life. I'm just covering all of my bases.
Sleeping with a baker.
There was a baker involved to some degree. There might have even been a butcher and a candlestick maker. Who knows? They probably weren't all in a bathtub together though. Anyway, potential baker dude didn't want to let his ship be lost a second time. But this wasn't his ship.
This wasn't
He
his
didn't
shit.
want this. He didn't want this ship, Jane Doe. Ellen's captain didn't want Jane Doe to be lost a second time. And after hours... Yes, I'm drunk. We're well aware of that, Kirstyn. I'm doing okay, alright? I'm nearly done.
I'm very proud of you.
I'm having fun here. That's what this is about. Well, it's also to educate you people, but like, I'm going to educate you while drunk. That's what makes it fun. For me and for you. I hope. Stay tuned for where you can give us feedback if it doesn't. So, he didn't want to lose this ship a second time, and he, after hours of careful negotiation, managed to convince a second team to take charge of Jane Doe.
Why would you bother?
After assuring them that there was no way, not a chance, that this could happen a second time. It would for sure be smooth sailing from here.
Oh my god.
And so, once again, besties Jane and Ellen set off on their journey together. This time they were like, let's hold hands.
Okay, but how does he have enough team?
He's probably now running skeleton crew on both ships.
Damn.
And also he gave up his best men for the first salvage crew, which fucking rookie mistake.
Literally though.
And they're gone. So now he's gone, hey, B team, go and run Jane Doe. And he's suffering with the C team running Ellen. Not a vibe. But, you gotta do what you gotta do in an economy. And so once again, besties Jane and Ellen set off together on their journey. This time they're like, let's hold hands, we'll stay close to each other. I don't want to lose you again. No, don't leave me. Don't forget about me. Well, it became clear shortly after that Jane was definitely not meant to accompany Ellen to port. Because shortly after setting off on their journey again, what do you think happened?
I'm gonna go with there was a storm. It was cuckoo banana bread. They lost each other.
There was not a storm.
Oh.
There was not a storm. The weather did intervene once more, however. While the sea remained calm, a dense fog reportedly rolled in, again separating the ships.
What a crazy
And when the fog cleared, again, Jane Doe and her crew, her new crew, which was the B team, were nowhere to be seen. This time, Baker
was bestie
Ellen's captain
probably shouldn't
was
forward.
Okay, let's give up on Jane Doe. She's not important anymore. She can keep her wood. No, let's not. I'm done. That's not it. I'm not about it. And the Ellen Austen continued with her journey. Why do I keep going to say journey? What the?
Because that's how it's spelled. Journey. She continued on her journey until she was 20 and 6 years old. 6 and 20.
She continued with her journey and ultimately arrived at her destination of New York, albeit slightly later than expected. And
a little lighter.
She never... Yeah, a lot. 2/3 lighter. She never came across the unidentified ship Jane Doe nor the missing crew members again. And that is the story of the Ellen Austen and the unidentified ship. Or, as I have now decided it is dubbed, the tale of Ellen and Jane.
Besties for a short amount of time because Jane kept ditching Ellen.
Yeah, I feel like Jane's just straight up bitch.
She's like, ew, Ellen, I don't want to be a fucking friend. Leave me alone.
But yeah, that's my case for the week. I swear I did the research for that months ago. And my Google history shows that I did, but apparently I just never wrote the notes.
I'm just saying.
Or I did, and it's a conspiracy theory. Who knows?
It is the Bermuda Triangle. Weird shit happens when it's involved. Could be anything.
Alright, so, Kirstyn, that's my case. I kind of want to go play The Sims. I'm not going to lie.
What
Do you want
to... mood.
Alright, well, how about you do your thing, and then we both go play The Sims.
I think that I'm gonna make my lesbians get engaged tonight.
Cute. I love that.
Wait, how long does a baby take?
I think it's 3 to 4 days.
Oh my god, it's actual? I have to wait 3 to 4 days for a baby?
To be born, yeah.
Oh no, I have to wait 9 months. But anyway. Okay, gang T4M. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed us setting up some space in your heads, rent-free, because we're both broke as shit.
Preach.
And just, like, deal with it, besties. Just fucking deal with it. If you want to, like, rage against the machine, because you literally will just be typing into a thing and not actually talking to us face to face. This made more sense in my head.
Most things that you say do.
Literally, though. You can find us on Facebook. Literally just type in Rent Free in My Head podcast and it pops up. You can also find us there on YouTube, same name. Or if you want to email us. If you want to
send us a digital letter.
It's a fucking electronic. E is electronic. I hate you so much. If you want to send us some electronic mail, you can email us at rfimhpodcast@gmail.com, or you can stalk us on Twitter and Instagram at rfimhpodcast. Or if you want to give a little extra stalky stalk, you can find Jerbear at Jeramie Gage, because apparently he fucking isn't listening. On Instagram.
Sorry, I'm looking up I am looking up guided meditation scripts so that when we end this recording, I can finally record you a guided meditation.
Bless. What a queen.
I'm going to do that as well, but, like, I've told you for, like, a couple of weeks that I was going to do this, so I'm going to actually do it and send you the file now.
Bless. Oh my god. Or you can...
I'm just trying to pick which is the perfect one for you.
Oh, thank you. Love is curated love. Or you can stalk me at Kirstyn Lee. And I think that's all of our social media.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Of course you weren't. You never listened to me.
I'm sorry. Do you want a personalized Jerbear meditation tape?
I do, and I'm very excited for it. And I love you deeply. Just like I love those 5 listeners of ours.
Thank you, our 5 listeners.
We really
love
appreciate you. And you specifically.
You are...
You are our 5 premium besties.
You're our besties. And to our besties, thank you for letting us take up space in your heads. We're not paying for it.
Because
goodbye. On that note,
catch ya on...
we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Catch ya on the flip side, motherfuckers.
Pew pew.